Welcome to SportsWire Summer Review. I'm Will Catterley. This week, I'm at Varina High School, where the boys basketball team had a remarkable season. Over 20 wins on the season, their first regional title, and for the first time in school history, a state championship.
Every day I come in to the office and I look at the trophies from this year, I reflect on just how hard it was to get to this point.
Coach told me from day one that I had to be a better leader because of the young guys that we had.
In this day and age where everybody wants that instant gratification, to see that, hey, I stayed true to the vision, the kids stayed true to the vision, and we worked and we worked and we chipped away at it, and we finally got what we wanted.
But to get the ultimate prize, Varina would have to rely on a freshman point guard.
I just knew what Coach told me I had to do because I had a big role in here. Coming in as a freshman, playing varsity, I knew I had a whole lot of pressure on my back, and I just had to fight through it and play hard.
Here's what I think people don't know. We're huge here on development. So when he was at Rolfe as an 8th grader, he came over here in the springtime and he played in the summer and the spring and he practiced with me. So this is his first year of running this team, but he's been around me for 2 summers where he ran my team in the summertime. He knew what we were doing and we had it, and I trusted him. And then when you have as talented as he is and can make those adjustments, have the kids around him, as a coach, you can only be happy.
And Jason Nelson had plenty of talent around him.
Well, you know, AJ, he's a knockdown shooter. I've been playing with him since 3rd grade. He can shoot ever since, best shooter in RVA. You know, you got Tyrese, he can do it all. Knockdown shooter, can do it all. Kennard, he can shoot, drive. Saman, he can finish. Jordan, finish. Charles, he can shoot.
Make no mistake, this Varina team was loaded. But to use an old cliche, defense wins championships.
Basically defense, we basically all practice defense. You know, offense, we can, you know, we know we can score the ball, but defense, we had to stop opponents from scoring.
And that defense often led to easy offense. Now, Varina only had 2 losses last season, and the last loss happened last year, the Park School of Buffalo on December 28th. Since then, Varina never again tasted defeat. But before they could think about states, they still had business to take care of in regionals. And in the finale, arch rival Highland Springs, the last team to even make the field, came calling. So let's have a SportsWire rewind. It's Varina versus Highland Springs for the regional championship.
Championship regional title, Varina Island Springs, Nathaniel Pollard Island Springs taking on Tyrese Jenkins and Varina. History will be made one way or another. Highland Springs, the 8th seed, will they win the first time as an 8th seed, the last seed, the regional title? Or will Varina win their first regional championship in school history? Well, number 12, Anthony Williams. Varina were on the right side of history early on in the first. Still in the first, one corner good, other corner, got it. It's a wet jumper, nothing but nylon. Charles Tart with the sweet J there, and then Tart gonna pass it off to this man who had himself a heck of a ball game. You'll hear his name throughout. Tyrese Jenkins. The Highland Springs wasn't going away. Springers, top of the key, got it. Tyler Oliver. They would double team Nathaniel Pollard, but at the buzzer at the end of the first quarter, oh my, Jordan Crump. Huge 3-pointer. Guess what? The 8th seed Springers have a 3-point lead after 1 quarter play, second quarter. Varina says we can fix that. Slamma jamma. Knocking it down. Tyrese Jenkins. And this guy is terrific at the guard position. Number 4, Jason Nelson, passing off. Jenkins again, this time from long range, and then Nelson to guess who? Jenkins. They got each other cerebrally there. They know where each other are on the court, making it work. Springer's not going away. Number 23 doing the damage. Damon Wirtz. It works. 21-19, 2-point game. What else do you expect in the championship? This is a close one, third quarter though. Dipsy-do. How are you? Counted for 2 and 1 old-fashioned three-point play. Anthony Williams. Varina, much like they did in the quarterfinal round, or in the semifinal round, I should say, go on a run in the third quarter. We talked about Jason Nelson. You saw him score there, and then once again finding Tyrese Jenkins on the other end. Their chemistry is big. And then watch the defense. I said they double-teamed Nathaniel Pollard, and it turns into offense because they get the steal and score and count it. And 1 for Kennard Richardson, 16 points for Richardson on the night. Springers, though, on the break. Not done just yet. They've faced more adversity than this in the last 8 to 10 minutes of a ball game. You know they're going to come back strong, right? Right. Nathaniel Pollard says, I'm not done. He scores 2, 39-28, 11-point lead. We go to the 4th. Springer's going to cut it to single digits, right? Not if Jason Nelson has anything to say about it. Nelson got it for 2 and the foul. And Varina can flex their muscles because they're state champs. The Blue Devils hoist the hardware and win it 59-42.
I think we hung mentally tough. We faced some adversity. Kids stayed tough, and we got stops and timely buckets when we needed it.
I mean, I just knew I had to come in and play hard. You know, Highland Springs is a good team. They were going to come out with some fire being the AT, so I knew I had to step my game up. This is our first regional championship in Varina history, so everybody had to come out with some fire. We just knew we had to go get it.
So the Blue Devils' remarkable run would continue, but it would take poise, grit, and toughness to progress in the state tournament. Varina's march to glory continues straight ahead.
Don't always have time to watch SportsWire on your TV? No problem. Episodes are available anytime on the web at watchsportswire.com. And it works just as well on your phone. Watch SportsWire anytime, anywhere at watchsportswire.com.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
You know, they say that if you want to become champions, at some point, you're going to face an adversary where you have to withstand their greatest run. That exact scenario happened in the opening round of states. The Hampton Crabbers, Varina Blue Devils. Both teams early on traded punches, but eventually, Varina turned up the tempo, taking a single-digit lead at the half into double digits. But what looked like what was about to become a runaway turned into a one-possession affair late as the Crabbers came crawling back.
You get those moments here, and it didn't start that game. If you just go back to the first round of the regionals when we had Prince George here, I think we were up 20 and early, and how they came back and pushed it, and we had to go nip and tuck. We grew a lot, so in that moment, I don't think our kids felt any pressure. We felt that, hey, they gave us their best run. Now we have to get a bucket and a stop to stop the run, and then we'll be okay.
After 2 Hampton free throws, the game was tied with under 20 seconds to go. Varina had one man in mind for the game-winning shot.
We knew who we had to go to. We had to go to Tyrese because, you know, he made some clutch performances throughout his career. So we knew he had to get the ball in his hand.
I told him one thing. I said, hey, we throwing the ball to you. Ball doesn't leave your hand unless you're shooting it or you're going to the free throw line. just shook his head. He said, "I got you, coach."
And Tyrese Jenkins did not disappoint. Still, Varina needed a defensive stop.
We had to lock up. We can't let them score. But, if we lost, then we going home. And we knew we didn't want to go home at the time.
What followed was Anthony Williams' biggest defensive play of his career. A block seals the win, and Varina moves on to the semifinals.
I was scared. I thought they was going to hit the three, but I was with it, so we got the win. I just took a chance at it, and so happened that I blocked it. So we luckily won.
And in the semifinals, for the 5th time, arch rival, Highland Springs.
Playing Highland Springs before, knowing them really, really well, and what they do, we felt comfortable in playing them. We knew their personnel, they knew us.
They're tough. They fight. They get up and down the floor. They had to fight in the playoffs, and plus, they won the state championship ring like we won it.
The Springers were indeed up for the challenge. Late in the game, they erased a Varina lead, taking a 1-point advantage themselves with just under 5 minutes to play. But Varina would come back with some great play by Jordan Hernandez late. The Blue Devils beat their rivals for the 5th time, and suddenly Varina knew they were just one win away from a state championship.
Going into the final, Varina still appeared to be about a year away. Their opponent, Wakefield, had more seniors, they were bigger, and they forced Varina to play at their pace. Still, this young team found a way. So here it is one more time. Varina versus Wakefield. A state championship hangs in the balance.
And make no mistake, this state championship final, well, it lived up to being a state championship final. Varina taking on the Wakefield Warriors. First quarter action, Wakefield going to get on the board in an emphatic way. The slamma-jamma by Amari Cooper. One of their stars, he was big in this one. And they would have the early lead. Back comes Varina, their first bucket of the game. The 3-ball dialing long distance. Anthony Williams says, "Come on, let's go." It was shooting woes for Varina early in this one. Wakefield would take advantage. The pass, the kick out, 3-ball corner pocket. Got it to go. Ben Horsford knocks it down. Jenkins in a seesaw affair in this one in the first, still in the first, making the bucket count there on the inbounds. Good for Jenkins. He would lead Varina. You'll hear more from him. But offensive rebounds were key for Wakefield. 6 offensive rebounds to Varina's 3 as they'd have a 15-11 lead after 1 quarter play. We go to the second quarter. Those 6 offensive rebounds, all of them led to points. Big factor. This guy was too. 34, Robert Starkey slashes to the hoop for 2. Varina just trying to stay in the ball game at this point, folks. Jordan Hernandez connects and he's fouled. But on the other side, Wakefield had all the answers early. 3-ball, yeah. Rub off the sleeve, dust it off a bit. It is good for Chris Warner. They're not done. Again from long range. Warner connects. Somebody's got to get a body on this guy. Then, late in the second quarter, a forced shot. The crowd, the Wakefield faithful, made him think time was running out. Instead of a 3, it's a dunk to end the half. What a half for Jared Watkins in Wakefield. They'd be up 31-23, an 8-point advantage at the half. Second half, you think Varina's done? You haven't seen him play basketball this year then. Anthony Williams responds in the third for 2. Then Williams slashed into the hoop. No, the kick out. Jenkins, we need this one, Varina. Yeah, I got it for 3. At 1 point down 10, that would bring it down to 4. Later, though, Wakefield again responding and again doing it on the offensive glass. Check it out. Amari Cooper for 2. Had 9 points for the game, 10 rebounds. 1 bucket short of a double-double. Does Varina panic? No, they don't. Find the extra man and trust your teammates. The 3-ball from Charles Tart. He made 1 field goal all game. That was a big one. Then the lay-in. by Jordan Hernandez. Donkey lays it up and in. Misses a free throw. Guess who's got it? Tyrese Jenkins. And it's a 2-point ball game. Wakefield, though, has an answer. They cut to the basket. Gabe Tham gets 2 points for the Warriors. And then Dipsy-Doo, how are you? No, this time it's Varina on the offensive glass. That's going to tie things up. Brand new ball game. Simon Pinchback. 4-point game after 3. Wakefield still up 4, but not for long. Varina has been really good in the fourth quarter, especially in the playoffs. They would be that way again when it mattered most. Kennard Richardson for 2, had 13 on the night. Later in transition, oh my, Anthony Williams ties it up with a 3. He had 17. How about Tyrese Jenkins for 2? No, guess who's there? The putback Richardson. Varina with the lead, but Wakefield not done yet. That layup would cut Varina's lead to just 1 point. Then Wakefield would have a chance to take the lead. Just over a minute and change to go. There's a foul underneath. Look at the ref. That means intentional foul on Wakefield. That means 2 shots and the basketball for Varina. They make 1 of 2 at the line. Then they would get to the line because in the bonus, more free throws for more fouls. That shot right there puts Varina up by 4, and that's the horn. That's the game. Blue Devils go down in history. They've done it for the first time ever in school history. The Varina Blue Devils are state boys basketball champs. Coach Lacey, he's in tears. He's going to get some congratulations. And then he goes from tears of joy to, well, just pure joy, because he's got it right there. The team's going to rally around him. What a season. What a team. What a way to win it. Varina down double digits in the third quarter, win the state championship 64-60.
The old adage, if practices are tougher and the games are easy, I think once these guys start to speak, they'll probably tell you that practices are probably a war with you 90% of the time, whether it's grueling mentally or physically. And then our off-season program prepares them for, hey, in the fourth quarter, you got to fight, you got to bear the hammer. We want to be the best team in the fourth quarter, and I think they responded.
1, 2, 3.
Play hard!
There we go.
Now players help the newest young stars in summer basketball camps, while these kids get to learn from a group of champions.
Let's go. Run the play. Run the play.
For these kids to go out there and do what they did also lets people know that there is a lot of positive that happens here every day. There are kids that work hard with good character that really carry the community on their shoulders at what they want to do.
We got to keep working. Don't let one state championship game determine how the rest of our high school career is going to be. If we're trying to go back to back to back, we're trying to win it all.
What a remarkable year for Blue Devils boys basketball. It's a season they won't soon forget. But when you talk Varina sports, well, football is normally at the forefront. You know, since 1995, the Varina football team has made it to 13 regional title games. Now, lately they haven't been as dominant as the mid to late 90s, but last year, due to a changeover back to basics and what works, a powerful run game, and a very strong and sturdy defense, Varina once again made it back to the postseason.
We thought we could compete with anybody. You know, 8 wins is the best we've done since, 2014, 2013. We want to run it downhill and get your linebackers reacting fast downhill. Then we want them to fake it and go another way. So then we want them to slow play it and think all the fakes are coming and then hit them quick. So we big on the misdirection and pulling people, pull them big on power football out of a spread look.
And Varina had plenty of weapons on offense, including senior running back R.J. Coles and a dominating offensive line.
Offensive line was a big factor in the running game, especially Andy Matthews. He was a very big factor. He's going to Hampton.
My mentality is You know, we're a power running team. I like seeing people, hopefully, you know, what we gotten back into, what we do is by the fourth quarter, we done taken people's wheel with a power running game. So, you know, that's what we tried to get back to. We can throw it. Our offense is meant to pass it, but we prefer to run the football.
The ability to do both effectively got Varina out to a great 5-1 start to the year. It also helped that players like R.J. Coles had some early season success.
Meadowbrook game, the first game of the season, I had 3 touchdowns. I had like 100 yards and I had like 11 tackles. Played both sides of the ball. I think that was my best game. Well, Coach Brown always gets on us at practice about carrying out the fakes, making the defense go this way, and we're going the opposite way. So that was a really big factor. Coach Brown having us being dramatic on every fake, making it seem like we all have the ball, making the defense go the opposite way.
Meanwhile, opponents had a really tough time against Varina's vaunted defense.
Our defense was the best we played since 2008, which we had a pretty good year that year. But statistically, it was the best defense, and it was actually even better because we put them in bad situations with the turnovers. You know, people, they didn't give up much. You know, the key to us on defense was make people drive the field. If we made people go 70 and 80 yards, I don't know if anybody did it. I'm proud of our defense. We flew the football.
Varina's only losses on the year came to other playoff opponents, once to Henrico, twice to Hermitage, and once to defending state champion Highland Springs. But Varina did do something that they've never done in school history: go on the road in the playoffs and knock off juggernaut L.C. Bird.
The year before, 2016, we got in the playoffs and L.C. Bird thumped us. And I kept telling our coaching staff it's important that we get in the playoffs to get them the taste of it. Because and RJ and them, I tell you that, you know, we talked about that it's a whole different level. You got to step whatever level you used to playing at in them first 10 games, that's out the door. You know, it's a different level. You know, they went in there and not only did they go in there to compete to win, they went in there, we gave L.C. Bird a good little thumping.
It was so many people doubting us in that game, and they had beat us in the previous year like really bad, so we had to come out ready to fight, and then we surprised a lot of people and we beat them.
Of course, the Blue Devils trying to change that on Friday night at L.C. Bird. They had their whole arsenal of players back, a lot coming back from injury, and they would play a huge factor early and often. And yeah, Varina doing it with the passing game as well, known as a running team, dialing long distance, hitting the receiver. Austin Howie would lead to this. The touchdown run by number 8, Breon, don't call me Brian Logan. He had a heck of a game. Through the air and on the ground, 7-0 would be the score at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, dialing long distance, L.C. Bird has the answer. Jaden Payette with the touchdown grab, but penalty flag on the play. L.C. Bird had 2 touchdowns in this game, called back because of the penalty, so it'd be 7-0 at the second half. Trying to get around and escape is L.C. Bird's quarterback, but look what I got here. Says number 15, Jeremiah Rhodes, and he paves his own way into the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Devils. And then things would start to change. 13-0 in the third quarter, 9:53 to go. They get the ball back in. They run the rock. That's in, crossing the end line for the touchdown, R.J. Coles. 20-0 Varina. This can't keep up, can it? I mean, Bird's too good for this, right? Guess what? Varina's pretty darn good, too. And as I said earlier, a whole lot of different weapons. Isaiah Page turns it up inside for a big gain and would lead to this. Number 32, Tashawn Crutchfield with the touchdown run. He's a linebacker as well. And remember, if you haven't seen this video yet go viral, Varina's become big-time friends with Seth Shirley, the athlete football player who ran for an 80-yard touchdown at cerebral palsy. That video's gone viral. He's become a big Varina fan. Also, working the game, giving updates on it. Nice moment there. He's become a big fan of Varina football. And, of course, the cheerleaders all bundled up and warm, but dancing to keep warm. And reason to dance. Varina's defense doing some dancing of their own. The sack, keep it rolling. Cordell Short Fly the flag. Varina's got it, 33-7. Stu Brown talks about the defense.
We got a good run defense. We flat out run. We know they're gonna run the power. We know they're gonna run the isolation. Jace DePriest don't get enough credit. He shuts down that tight end. He controls the tight end at a 6 technique. Don't let him get on that line back. And I've said this all along. Andy Matthews is the best defensive lineman in this region, bar none.
Varina's season would come to an end a week later at Hermitage, but several college scouts took notice of the talent and character of this team.
Well, signing day we had 6, but it was all said and done, we end up having 10, and it's something that we work hard here. You love seeing that not only the athletic ability paid off, but recruiting's to the point now. When I first got here in '95, if you could play, they're going to sign you. But character's the number 1 thing they're looking for, with academics number 2. Your ability on the field is 3rd. So when you see a kid sign nowadays because of everything the NCAA's been through as far as scandals and everything, when you see a kid sign nowadays, they good people who did what they're supposed to do, worked hard in the classroom, and they also talented on the football field. So it means that much more to see them sign, because they put in a lot to get that free education.
And for those players coming back, a brand new football field to look forward to. Artificial turf comes to Varina.
Oh, the field's amazing, no more mowing, no more raking mud, no more playing in the mud. The maintenance, it takes a lot of time in the summer to get a field ready or to paint a field. We're privileged. Thanks, Henrico County.
Remember, if you have questions or comments about the show, just send me an email to this address, sportswire@henrico.k12.va.us, and you can always follow us on Twitter. I can't wait to see ya next time on SportsWire.